here, and I'm here going to go and play Plants vs. Zombies. This game is published and sold by PopCap Games, and originally the game was about $19.99. I think it's being sold now for about $9.99. There's quite a number of versions of the game, which includes an iOS version, Android, Xbox Live Arcade. I don't know what the prices are on those, mainly because I don't actually own those systems, and when I did try looking up the prices for them, my browser continuously tried crashing, or continuously did crash on the various pages that actually had the prices for them. I believe that, if I remember correctly, the game is actually available for $2.35 somewhere, or that might just be Amazon lying to me, as usual. But, whatever the case is, it's a very popular tower defense game, mainly because of its simplicity. And in its simplicity, there's a lot of complex things that you can figure out in it. Alright. I also have food here, and my dad won't leave me alone until I actually eat something. I mean, that's just a given. But anyway, random information aside, let's go and play Plants vs. Zombies. Now, this is going to be a really short kind of series, mainly because Plants vs. Zombies is just a really short game. The adventure isn't that long, and most of the content that's in Plants vs. Zombies is minigames and all that. I might do a video on survival, but I'm very terrible at survival, so whatever. I also have an older version of Plants vs. Zombies. I couldn't get a newer version, mainly because my credit card expired. So I had to go and piggyback off my friend's copy of Plants vs. Zombies, so I'm sorry. So, let's go and start the adventure. I don't have a lot of features like the Zombatar or achievements. So, oh, intro sequence. I forgot this existed. So the point of this game is to go and defend yourself from these hordes of zombies that are trying to eat your brains. And they try to go through your house using the various fields and methods and stuff like that. So right now, we have your yard, which is, currently, it's one lane. So it's not that difficult to go and figure out, oh, this is what you have to defend. Or this is where you place defenses. Now, the end of the yard is a lawnmower. And if the zombies reach the whole entire stretch of the yard, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 spaces, I think. Wait, let me check again. 3, yeah, 9 spaces. Then the lawnmower will go all the way across and take out any zombies that are on the lane right there. But after that, you won't have a lawnmower anymore, so if the zombies get through a second time, they're gonna go invade your house and eat your brains. So, how do you defend yourself? Well, you use plants. And you can only plant plants on spaces that are green. At least in this level. There are different levels later on with different kinds of spaces that you have to do that have special conditions on them. So, the way you plant plants on those will change. So right now you only have one seed, and it's the arrow pointing up here, and it's a pea shooter. The pea shooter is the basic tower plant that you have to go and attack zombies with. And right here on the card it says 100. And that's the cost of the plant. The plant will cost a currency unit called sun, and the amount of sun that you have is indicated by the top left corner. So right now we have 150 sun, and the pea shooter costs 100 sun. So, just click on it. You can take your plant, so you can see you have a pea shooter now. You're holding one in your cursor. And you can go and plop it down on any of the 9 spaces that are available to you on this first level. So, plop! There you go. Pea shooter planted. Now, to earn more sun, you collect it from the sky, because in these levels, sun will fall from the sky. So, just go, click on the sun, and you'll collect it. There are other ways of collecting sun, but I'll go in more into detail on how those work when we get to those levels. So, right now, just collect enough sun to go and put a second pea shooter down. So, plop! There we go. Don't let the zombies reach your house. So now I have enough sun for another pea shooter. No problem. Plop. Now there's also a level progress bar in the bottom right hand corner here. So that will tell you how far into the level you are, how many waves of zombies are going to show up, and all that stuff. Now at the beginning of the level you can see that the camera panned to the right. When you're on the road, you can see what kinds of zombies are out to go and get your brains. That way you can go and plan your defenses accordingly. Now, since this level's over, we get an item. And just go and pick up your item. After each level you get a new item. Doesn't really matter what item you get. You could get like new stages, or in this case, most of the time you will get seeds. And these seeds are available for new plants. So right now the new plant that we got is the sunflower, and it says here in the description it gives you additional sun. So what the sunflower does is that it will naturally produce sun when it's planted. At, I think it's a relatively fixed rate, but I can't be sure. I haven't actually timed it. So now that you can see the road panned over, and on the road is the types of zombies that you're going to be fighting. So what you can do now, what I'm going to do now is that now the tutorial is telling me to go and plant sunflowers. So the first thing you want to do in every level is to plant a sunflower. You're given about enough time to plant around 3 sunflowers before the first zombie shows up. So take advantage of the time. So just go and plant another sunflower. Yep, the more sunflowers you have, the faster you can grow plants, because the sunflowers will go and produce sun naturally. And you need plenty of sun to go and plant plants. So this isn't too bad. So there we go. I had enough time at the beginning of the level to plant 4 sunflowers. And usually for the earlier levels, this is how many flowers I tend to bring with me. It depends on what kind of level it is, that it changes how many sun-producing plants that I put on the field. So right now I'm just collect sun, go and put down pea shooters. This isn't very hard, at least in the first few levels, so don't worry about it. Do. Nah, I don't feel like putting another pea shooter down. The thing about regular zombies is that they're very slow and they're very weak. So one pea shooter can take care of normal zombies, but the other types of zombies that will show up will require more firepower to kill. Because obviously, you didn't think that we were gonna go and kill a bunch of basic zombies for the entire game, would you? That'd be boring. That'd be boring, even to me. And I like this game. Huge wave of zombies is approaching. So right now we only have 3 lanes also, so it's really easy to defend. The more lanes that you have, the more hectic and the more frantic things start becoming, because you're gonna have suddenly like multiple lanes of zombies, and maybe not all of them will be equally defended as just 3 or just 5 or just 6. But don't worry about that. So, just wait for the zombies to die. And, of course, we get our new item for the next stage. And what this is a seed packet for cherry bombs. Sweet. So, you got a new plant. You have cherry bombs. And the cherry bombs are an instant. That's what they're called. Or at least that's what they're commonly called by other avid players of, like, tower defense games. Instants are basically one-use items that can do large amounts of damage. But of course, since they're one-use, you kind of have to be very crafty about how you use them and when. So, sorry, chopsticks. But, cherry bombs are basically Well, they're just what they are on the label. They're a bomb. And the cherry bombs have a range of 3x3. So the cherry bomb's in the center, and it can go and kill anything within 1 block radius around it. So, oh, and this level we get cone heads, as you can see from the road. The cone heads are a more resilient kind of zombie. They take a couple more hits than normal zombies to go and kill, but they're still the same speed. So don't worry about it too much. If, what was it? If you think that they're gonna be any harder. So right now, just go and plant your sunflowers. Yeah, I'm just totally ignoring the zombie on the bottom lane. I'll probably have my friend screaming at his screen, going, "Why are you not putting a pea shooter down?" I don't feel like it. Just wait till it gets a little bit farther in the lane. Now, if you could see here in the level progress bar, there's actually a flag here at the end with a brain on it. This will indicate when you actually have, when you have a large wave of zombies coming. So you have to make sure that your defenses are pretty much solid by that point. Or else, you know, large wave of zombies, they're gonna maul through everything. What happens when a zombie actually reaches a plant at the end is that they'll start trying to eat it. Either that or they'll try to destroy it somehow. All the zombies have a different method of destroying. Most of the time it's eating them, but... yeah. Some of them are just a pain. Now, for coneheads, the common strategy is to put 2 pea shooters down for them because they obviously take more hits than a normal zombie does. So, it makes sense that you have to go and put more firepower behind, you have to put more firepower behind a lane, that way they can adequately take out harder enemies. It's not that bad. So, just calmly wait for the level to end. Collect sun. I have about 225 sun. I'll show you guys the cherry bomb at probably the last wave of zombies when this flag actually shows up. The special thing about the flag here is that there's actually a flag zombie. He's not much harder than a normal zombie. He just holds a flag and just indicates to you, oh, I'm gonna be leading an army or an entourage of just zombies everywhere. And there you go, flag zombie. Final wave. It's not that bad. So, of course, just continuously go and collect sun, plant plants. So, I'm gonna go and show you guys the cherry bomb. Now, the cherry bomb can go and hit 3 lanes at once. So, boom! There you go. Just put a cherry bomb, it hits this lane, hits this lane, hits the middle lane. And we get another plant. At least in this case. And we get a seed packet for walnuts. Walnuts, 50 sun. And I could see what they did there. I see what you did there, PopCap. Walnuts basically just act as a wall. They don't have any other purpose other than to be defensive. So, I'll show you guys what it does, but personally, the thing with walnuts is, despite their usefulness, oh, and now we get 5 lanes. Okay. So 5 lanes, 5 lawnmowers, more lanes to defend. That's alright. But anyway, about the walnut, the thing about the usefulness about the walnut, it's good early on, but later on their usefulness starts to die down, especially when you have zombies that are really resilient and they eat things at a faster rate. So, I already have my 3 sunflowers out. Most of the early levels I tend to go and just use 4 sunflowers. That's really the maximum you need for at least these early, like, World 1 levels. That's why it's called Level 1-4. So, another pea shooter. Later on, I do change the number of sun-producing plants that I use, but for the most part, I've used 4 in most of my playthroughs of the game. It's not that big of a deal. And... I don't know, I don't really have much else to say about... about sun-producing plants. There's not much else to the game really right now, is just go and plant plants. And as you can see here, the seed slot is starting to get filled up. And when your seed slot does get filled up, it's going to... You're gonna need larger slots, and you're gonna have to go and spend some kind of currency to buy them. Oh, I neglected the zombie here at the bottom. I could cherry bomb him, but I don't think it's worth it. So I'm gonna go and actually put this pea shooter farther back. Because I gave myself some space to go and put pea shooters. It's not that big of a deal. Just go and... Should I go put another pea shooter? Yeah, I'll put another pea shooter. The walnut isn't really that big of an issue because you have so much area to cover. Or the zombies have so much area to cover and walk across before they, you know, get to your defenses. And the thing about Plants vs. Zombies and a lot of tower defense games is that there are advantages and disadvantages to front-loading. Front-loading your defenses. Front-loading meaning that you arm the front of your area. So like in this case, if I wanted to front-load this, I would go and start putting a lot of firepower towards the front and try to eliminate stuff as soon as they come in. The problem with that though is that you lose a lot of margin of error that comes with having more space for enemies to wander around. Because essentially, the more space that you give enemies to walk around, the more time you have to think up defenses, to collect currency. So that's why I think walnuts, in general, are sort of... what was it? How do I say this? A walnut is generally just an emergency item that you don't really need it in most cases. You can just let zombies walk across and you can kill stuff that way. Oh, and now we get a new item. And this isn't a seed packet, it's a shovel. A spade, if you will. So you got the shovel. It lets you dig up a plant to make room for another plant. So, this is World 1.5. And, what was it? Every 5th level of a world is a special level. It contains a mini game that you can play. So right now we get introduced to but I'll get more into that in a sec. For now we're gonna get introduced to this guy. Yeah. So he says, "Greetings, neighbor. The name is Crazy Dave, but you can just call me Crazy Dave. Listen, I've got a surprise for you. But first, I'll need you to clear your lawn. Use your shovel and dig up those plants." So, this is a demonstration of the shovel. Let the digging commence! Roll, roll, roll! So, just go and click your shovel and click on the plant you want to remove. And this becomes really useful later, especially when you need to use... Okay, goody, now for the surprise. We're going bowling. Here, take this walnut. Why'd I put a walnut in your hand? Because I'm crazy! Now go! Bowl me, winner! Roll, roll, roll! Ow. Elbow. Crazy Dave is kind of weird. Now, this is one of the mini games that I mentioned earlier. This is walnut bowling, and basically walnuts will come down on this conveyor belt, and you just take one, and you're only allowed to place them behind the red line. So what this does is that you go and hit a zombie with it, with the walnuts that you go and send out. Now the red walnuts that you get on the conveyor belt are Explodo nuts. And what Explodo nuts do is that, well, they explode. They act just like a cherry bomb. They hit a 3x3 area. So if you get a lot of zombies and you don't know what to do with them, then you can go and just blow them all up. Just make sure you aim really well. Now the thing about the walnut bowling, what I like to do is let the zombies kind of wander out into this middle area because the walnuts will bounce off zombies. So you can potentially hit multiple zombies with the same walnut. But in this case, there aren't many zombies coming down, so I'm gonna go and quickly clear all this stuff out. There we go. So now I'm just gonna go and kind of wait around, wait for these guys to come out. There we go. And another wave will come out around the middle spaces. There we go. So what you're gonna do is, there we are. And of course, you want to go and hit as many zombies multiple times. And the thing about these mini games is that the only seeds that you can use is the ones that are given to you at the end of the levels. So that's why I'm only getting walnuts, is because I got walnuts in the level. So that means later on when you play games like this, you won't get walnuts. You'll get different seeds possibly. Oh, and it looks like I'm gonna have issues here. Oh no, it didn't bounce off correctly, so I'm gonna go. Now, coneheads take 2 walnuts, as you can see. Coneheads take 2 walnuts to clear out. So, let me see if I can go and... Yep, there we go. So I can just use an Explodo nut to clear 2 of them out. So now I'm just gonna go and wait for them to go and walk a little bit farther. There you go. This is kind of an issue because there are zombies. I might want to start using my Explodo nuts. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go use Explodo nut here. Use a walnut to clear this guy out. Yep, there we go. And then, obviously, since this is a regular level, you get a new item. So this time we get a potato mine. Well, I already spoiled what the name is.